You're not going to have a Black Helen of Troy, which completely goes against the description of Helen. Welcome back to the channel. This is Jack, and today I wanted to talk to you about the cinematic masterpiece that will be descending from heaven right on top of our heads. And of course, I'm talking about Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. Just joking. I think it's going to be a turn, but time will tell, I suppose. So let's get into this with the less egregious things that I see personally to the more egregious things. Let's start with the score. The composer, Hans Zimmer. Somebody else I'm not familiar with, and subverted expectations of no orchestral composition, which I'm a little concerned about. I just really hope it's not rap or trip hop or R&B or something like that. And there is a rapper that has been cast as a Greek poet, so consider me concerned. The visual aesthetics is also somewhat of a concern because, well, it kind of looks a little washed out in the trailer. It kind of looks cheap. Something about the costumes don't look quite right. Metatron said something about the plate. There's plate armor, and should have been impossible at that for that time period. So it's not period correct. And there's just some things about it that doesn't meet the eye test. Because of that, you get a little concerned with how the actual movie is going to look. Okay, let's get into the more egregious stuff. And full disclaimer here, I am not a Greek historian. I have an appreciation for Greek history, literature, and mythology. I love the Greek Golden Age all the way through the Minoan and Mycenaean eras. I get a little bit annoyed whenever I hear certain terms like reimagining or modern audience, or it's a fictional tale so we can take liberties. I get real about these certain things. It seems that modern filmmakers, their playbook is updated to modern sensibilities. And I guess part of that is taking reality and historical accuracy and bending it. Because that's what they're doing with this movie. I know it's a historical piece of literature, so it is a fictional tale. The reality of Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, and when you scrub all the supernatural stuff out and all the mythology of it, there are tidbits of historical fact. Culture, for example, how the culture was, how society was ordered, the ethnic makeup of the Greeks of that time period, the armor, the ships, the places. Troy existed, for example. They thought it didn't exist for years, and they found out, wait, there is this place destroyed multiple times. Agamemnon's palace, that's been discovered with things that match Homer's, writings. Having said that, you're not going to have a black Greek poet. You're not going to have a Black Helen of Troy, which completely goes against the description of Helen. These things just they're not reality. They're not accurate. And I don't care if it's a piece of fiction. This wouldn't have been how it was in the Aegean at that time period. You wouldn't have had a Kenyan married to Menelaus. Again, you would not have a Black Helen of Troy. Now let's this race swapping thing is kind of getting out of hand. Recently, of course, they race swap Severus Snape in the Harry Potter remake series or whatever to a black man with dreadlocks. When in the Harry Potter books, Severus Snape is described as a pasty white dude with greasy hair. I really wonder how they're going to manage that. James Potter humiliating Severus Snape by hanging him in a tree from his underpants or whatever. I wonder if they're going to do that with a black guy. Just saying. They didn't think that one through, I don't think. And there's Ellen Page, Why is she in this movie? What is she cast for? Some people think Achilles. I don't think so. I've seen some fantastic memes about that, though. Awesome memes. Very hilarious. I don't really buy that she's Achilles. Now, this could age like old milk, and I could be completely wrong and look like an idiot, but I don't see that happening. I don't think Christopher Nolan's that retarded. I mean, well, what am I saying? He did cast a Kenyan as Helen of Troy. I'm probably going to be wrong, aren't I? That anyway, that's really all I have. I mean, historical accuracy, historical facts, reality. We live in idiocracy, I swear. Things are just getting worse and worse and worse. What do you people think? Do you think this thing's going to be an absolute masterpiece, or do you think it's going to be a giant turd, like I think? I think it's certified poop. Let me know in the comments below. Are you going to see this movie? What do you think about this movie? Is it going to be dumb? Is it going to be great? Whatever. And until next time, see you later.
Achilles!